Hello there. Thought I would give you a quick look at the truck I've been driving for the past week, which is the all-new 2022 Chevrolet Silverado ZR2. Now, when I say all new, I mean the trim level is all new. You've been able to get the Colorado in the Offroad ZR2 trim now for quite a while, but the Silverado, this is a first, and that makes this the new flagship off-road truck from Chevrolet. Beautiful galactic blue paint, which is an upcharge. It's got a great new front end on it too. I love the grille with the flow tie so the air can get in quickly. The red recovery hooks. Did a beautiful job with the styling on this. I love this bump too here on the hood. This comes standard with the big 6.2 liter V8 engine. This is the only engine you can get with the ZR2, and this is the only body style that the ZR2 comes in. So this is a crew cab with the short box. Now the Trail Boss, which was the previous leader in off-roading for the Silverado, that one you can get with a standard size box, but not here. And that is to preserve the approach and departure angles for a more meaningful off-road truck like the ZR2. I've had a great week with it. It goes back today. I've done some off-roading, as you can probably tell from the mud here on these optional black gloss wheels, wrapped in 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory tires. They performed admirably. And then if you look in here, you can see the Multimatic dampers. That is a trick that Chevy pulled out first on the Colorado ZR2. They used them here. Multimatic, if you are not familiar, is a leader in chassis design. They even assemble the GT for Ford, and with their damper and shock technology for off-roading. So these are proven in very harsh conditions like the Baja, and they do a very good job here. They really do. Not up to the standards, I would say, of the Fox shocks on a Raptor, nor does this truck have the wheel articulation of, say, a TRX or a Raptor. So it's not quite to those standards. I've driven both of those trucks, and if you haven't checked out those videos of mine, you can do so right after this, I would hope. Just search Hamas and the name of those trucks, or go to my channel. So, but it's still a beast off-road. It never felt nervous doing anything that I put it through. Now up here, we have a lot of narrow trails, rocks, mud, gravel, that sort of thing. This truck here can do that high-speed desert running like the Raptor, but it can also do the low-speed rock crawl stuff. And there's a new feature in here for the off-road settings called Terrain, which allows you to do a one-pedal type of slow rock crawl driving. There's also just an off-road mode, not one that breaks down the different types of terrain. So it's a pretty simplistic approach to the off-road electronic tools, which is nice in some ways. It's pretty simple. You just dial it in, make sure that your push-button four-wheel drive is in 4 high or 4 low, and then there are front and rear e-lockers here. If you get stuck, you can activate those as well. So this truck here starts at about $64,800 before destination. Checks in here at $76,000 plus. So it is not cheap. And I would imagine if you were to try to get one of these, not only would they be difficult to find, but probably not exactly at that price if the dealer decides to mark it up on you. The exhaust has been tucked in back here. And if you had noticed too on the front, the bumper design of this truck is specific and gives you even more ground clearance and approach angles than the Trail Boss. And this truck does sit a little bit higher than the Trail Boss and about 2 inches higher than a standard Silverado 1500. This one here does not have steps. These are rock rails to protect the sides of your truck from banging up against the hard stuff. But that also means that it's a pretty big step up here into the cab. So you've got to use these grab handles here. But let's start her up. Now, if you watched my GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate video, this will look all very familiar to you. The biggest difference, of course, is that it doesn't have that open pore wood and that soft leather with the top stitching. This is more of a vinyl leather-esque look with some yellow stitching. And my biggest disappointment in regards to that is that these seats are firm, they lack cushioning, they're not particularly long trip comfortable. It seems like Chevy could have given us something a little more supportive here for $76,000. So let's start her up. 420 horsepower, and it is rated at 15 mpg, so that's down 1 mpg from the Trail Boss, and it prefers premium unleaded. So it's got a 24-gallon tank. You do the math, it's not going to be cheap. And as you can see here, and I like this feature, the cooled seats automatically come on as necessary. It's very sticky and muggy and humid up here today, so that feels good. Dual zone climate control. Again, all of this is very high-end, very reminiscent of that GMC model that I was mentioning a moment ago. The only things this one really doesn't have is you can't get Super Cruise on this Silverado. You can on the High Country. And this one does not have massaging seats. But as for the infotainment system, which has been pretty much taken over by Google, it works very well in terms of voice commands. Turn up the temperature to 74 degrees.
Got it. Changing the temperature to 74 degrees.
See how easy that is? And you've got all of the camera views that we had when we were test driving the Sierra. All kinds of stuff for towing. Towing is at 8,900 pounds, by the way. You've got the brake controller here. You've got a trailer setting over here. And if you look here, I mean, this stuff is pretty fantastic. If you go into the trailer settings, look at all of these different tools you have here to make sure that you're not going to have some sort of an issue. You know, not everybody is an experienced person when it comes to trailering things. And this checklist here is really a cool idea. It kind of takes you through everything that you should do prior to stepping off. And it gives you an explanation over here of what everything exactly means. So very well done there. And it has the rear view camera mirror up here. And a very deep center console. And they tuck the wireless charge pad here right underneath the lid. So sometimes it is easy to forget your device, but the truck is so smart that it will warn you if you leave your device on the wireless charge pad. You can configure these different displays up here. This is, I think, called the classic display, but they have other settings here to configure this how you would like. And even though there's probably no way you can see it, there's a really bright, though monotone head-up display. So it's got all the features, the heated, the cooled seats. It's got the memory settings, the Bose stereo. This one has some options on it. So like I said, it gets up to about $76,000 with just about everything that you can get on this particular truck. It does not have a sport driving mode, by the way. If you go to the drive modes here, you can see there's the off-road mode. There's the terrain mode I mentioned earlier. But unlike the Sierra, which came with the sport mode, this one does not have such a thing, even though this still has the same 6.2 V8. The engine's great. It's not vociferous. It's not as powerful as you might think, nor does it pack the wallop of the Raptor or the TRX. But, you know, it's very good. It's very good. Let's take a look at the back seats, too. Enormous in the crew cab body style, just incredible amounts of room. This is where you hide your valuables, I suppose. And these seats also fold up, though this truck in particular doesn't have the little storage bin option. You can get that. It's got the sunroof. It's got heated rear seats with 3 settings, 2 different styles of USB ports. You've got these rubberized total floor liners, which are perfect for a truck that is obviously going to get muddy if you use it as intended. It's got a rear power sliding window. And then this truck, I really like this. My GMC didn't come with one, but this one does have the tonneau cover, a hard tonneau cover, an $1,100 option, and it folds. And this also has the optional multi-tailgate system. So you can drop this down here. And then if you wanted to extend the length of the bed just a little bit like that, you could do that. You can also drop this down yet again and drop this down here. So now you've got a step or a place to sit. And if you remember in my GMC review, this is where those speakers would have been for the Kicker audio system, which sounded like crap anyway. So that does not come here on the ZR2. And this does not have the carbon fiber composite bed like the Sierra either. But this is a really easy tonneau cover to maneuver. You just pull the little latches here and you can just fold it right up. Clicks into place with a couple of clips at the top. And you've also got the little grab handle here for stepping up into the bed. So very well conceived, very similar to the truck I had recently. And yeah, did a little kayaking over the weekend, so my kayak fit in here quite nicely. Fold this up. Yeah, so this is the Silverado ZR2. The full review will be posting sometime next week. And prior to that, you are going to see a review of the Kia EV6. I finally get a shot with that and report back on my electric week with that. And then also coming up today and then again the week after, 2 electric BMWs, the i4 and the iX, a car and an SUV. So more and more electrics are coming into the driveway and I absolutely love it. But until then, take one last look before it goes bye-bye. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Would you rather this over a Raptor or a TRX? Apples for apples. Comparison would show this truck to be about $4 to $5 grand less than the Raptor. And you get a naturally aspirated V8 here, and I know a lot of people like that. Unfortunately, you also get leaf springs. So the ride quality, not quite up to the level of the ones that use the multi-link suspensions, particularly the Ram, and this does not match the ride quality of the all-new Tundra, at least on-road, but it's fantastic off-road. It really smooths out a lot of the rough stuff. So very cool truck. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to make the video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out the channel for more of my reviews at Steve Hammis on YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.